Welcome back to Success Through Risk, an Entrepreneur's Tale. I'm your host, Monica Danaher, and today I have Mrs. Jackie Zuckerman-Delroy. How are you today?
Hey, Monica. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much, Jackie. Jackie is the CEO and just basically the reason why I am here doing this podcast today. She is the CEO of NEXTonSCENE Media and has just created an amazing, amazing business and has an awesome, awesome story to share. So let's get into it. Jackie, why don't you just introduce yourself and tell everyone what your company is?
For sure. Monica, first of all, everybody listening, you need to continue to listen to Monica. This is so exciting. I'm so excited for you about this podcast. So I'm a New Yorker and I moved to Boston almost 10 years ago. And I didn't know anybody outside of my boyfriend. Thank God we're married now. It was worth it. But I took a risk and I applied to all these corporate jobs. I was getting rejected or I wasn't hearing back. And I was like, I'm just going to take a risk and start my own business. I had a background in like talent management and events and promotions. And I was like, screw it. Like, I'm just going to take a chance. So before podcasting was a thing over 10 years ago, I decided that I was going to start one in my guest room closet. And I would basically interview people. And this is before I started my business. This was the first venture I did. Mm-hmm. And I would charge $50 and I'd like, come on my podcast. I would promote your story and then I'd share it on social media. And they were like, what else can you do? Like, we're getting attention. We're growing all these things. And that kind of funneled into the rest of my business today. So we do full spectrum marketing and PR. We come in, we do social media strategy to getting you in media. And then obviously branding and video shoots. And it's really awesome to see the confidence growth. I mean, Monica can share, like, it's so awesome to see the transition over time. And podcasting is a huge piece of this because I feel like it's a great networking tool and it really builds your credibility with other businesses and brands. So that's what I do in a nutshell.
Yes, awesome. And you have a pretty extensive background prior to, like, where you've worked for some pretty big names prior to starting your own business. So do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So in New York, I did PR with Bloomingdales. So I helped with their like events and stuff like that. And then I found this job on Craigslist. I was a talent casting agent and I would place babies through 80-year-olds for a company at Interface.
So
and
fun.
It was like my first real job that I knew I had talent within the PR realm was placing an 8-year-old on Kinky Boots on Broadway. So like that was like, for me, I was like, wow, like I need to step into this more seriously because it's so huge for the mom, for the family, for the kid. And I think that's really what made me step into this role like more fully. So those are like the two main things that I did. And then I worked on Top Chef as soon as I moved to Massachusetts. So if anybody watched Top Chef Boston, I was the assistant stylist of Padma. So that's what I
did. That's so fun. I have like a rule. This is so weird, but I like cannot watch any of those cooking or baking shows because then I'm just eat the entire time. Like it's just so I definitely know, of course, but yes, that's just I can't watch it, unfortunately.
I know. I kind of get that though. It looks so good. But then you try to make it on your own and you're like, I suck at this.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. My kids were into for a while. Is it cake? And it was just like, that was it for me. I was like, guys, we can't. We can't.
That is like so, it literally looks identical. Like I couldn't even believe like the difference.
Yeah. Crazy.
As a realtor, I see a lot of homes and a lot of home decor trends. Some are great, some not so great. But hey, everyone has their own style and it's not my place to judge. And since you guys asked for it, now you have it. Welcome to the ultimate shopping destination where all my favorite home decor pieces, trendy, affordable, and luxury fashion, and so much more await you, all in one convenient place. Featuring renowned brands like Anthropologie, Wayfair, and The Container Store, alongside luxury names such as Alexander McQueen, Louis Vuitton, and Gucci, your perfect find is just a few clicks away. Searching for something in particular? Simply DM me and I'll start the search. Ready to dive in? Head over to the link in my bio, click the My Shoppable Links tab, and let the exploration begin. It's that easy.
Let's see. Yeah. So what is a specific moment, like when after you started your business and you're kind of off on your own, what was the moment that you felt like, oh my gosh, I've actually made it, like on my own made it, not like, working behind these big names made it?
For sure. I would say That's a great question. I think once I really started my podcast and grew my audience in a short period of time, and people wanted to hire me for more than my podcast when I didn't even have these services created yet, I think that's when I really felt like, wow, like I can build this into something. So just take risks on yourself. You just never know. And start charging for it. Like people are like, I don't know. I'm like, no, like you deserve like what you deserve. And as long as you deliver an audience, like people will pay for it.
Right.
So
and I think, something that you talked about in the class that I took with you was that, don't downgrade yourself, right? Like people are going to be paying for their marketing or their advertising or whatever else it is. Why wouldn't they want to pay for you to do it or whatever it might be? Why wouldn't they want to work with you in some way to get it done, to get their name out there more? So yeah. Awesome. Okay. And then what was your biggest risk going from, the cushion of these big corporate companies to just diving in, full blown entrepreneur on your own?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to pull my hair out, like probably most entrepreneurs do, right? Like you have to learn, like, so podcasting now is a lot easier. Like when I started, I needed like all the tools to get set up. Took me 10 hours probably to figure out how to do and edit and like all these things. And so I was like, I give up. Like I literally was in this and I was like, I can't do this. And my husband came in and he's like, you're effing doing this. Like you put so much time and effort into this, like you can really build this into something. And I think that for me was a very telling moment of like, I'm so glad I didn't give up, because look how much 10 years later, like what could come from that?
Yeah. Yeah. And how long did it take you from like when you started your podcast to when you were like full on your own?
So I started my podcast actually on my own because I was in between jobs, but then I was like, this is not financially sustainable. So I went and got like a part-time job where I could build my business on the side. And while I did that, I also decided to like launch a magazine like a crazy woman. I had no experience, right? But I was like, screw it. Because a lot of people I were meeting like had no connections in media. And I was a New Yorker that didn't have PR connections here in Mass. And I'm blessed I do now, but that takes years to do. And so that's why I was like, I really feel like I went on my own probably 3 years in, like full time.
Okay. So. Yeah. So that's pretty, I feel like that's pretty average though. That's pretty safe for people who are kind of on that. I mean, I say all the time, they say in real estate, like if you're going to start, you should probably start part-time because you don't really make a lot. For me, that could never have worked. I had to really put my heart and soul into it. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a pretty average for what people say when they do have to have those part-time positions, or maybe they are just kind of those makers getting their name out for something. But that's awesome. And what was the biggest thing that helped you build your business? Was it just the podcasting? Was it the networking? What kind of networking did you do? Where were you?
So I would say when I launched my magazine within a year and a couple months of my podcast probably. And I had my first event where I launched it. And I actually got threatened to be sued because of the name of my business. And I was like, oh my goodness, I was so young at the time. I was like, what the hell does this mean? Like these people are so mean, I'm petrified. Okay. So I think that was the biggest learning curve for me of like trademarking and copywriting. And like that completely transformed and up-leveled my business. And so I feel like that was a very telling moment for me of like, sometimes crap happens, but it's a building block to get you where you really want to go. Right. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. And what advice would you have for aspiring entrepreneurs? I think I kind of repeated myself a little, but I think like you have to take chances on yourself. And like by not showing up and being authentic, like it's missed opportunities for you because people are looking for you. But if you're not showing up, like they don't even know you exist. So it's like, I think you just have to take a risk, and there's plenty to go around for everyone. It doesn't matter how many agents there are, how many marketing people there are, like there is enough business for everyone. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely feel that. And, that's something that is a piece of advice I always give to like newer agents coming into the market is find an agency or a brokerage that's going to really support you, because there is enough room at the top for everyone. So totally.
Okay. And what are 3 qualities or traits that you think make a successful entrepreneur?
Kindness is really big for me. And I think being truthful is huge, honesty and truthful, because I think as you grow, more things come across your desk and you get more opportunities and all this, and that can really affect the next level for you. And I'm big on loyalty. Like I'm huge on customer service and like never forgetting the people of like when you start out, like who was there for you.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. Definitely. Yes, I love that and totally agree. And then where can we find you? What are you doing next? I know you just launched this is probably not airing till January, so maybe not just, but at this point of the recording, you just launched another magazine that came out.
Yes. So that's my latest, honestly. So I'm probably, now that I am expecting a second child, I'm probably not creating another magazine for another year, because it's just me and my mom. It takes over 6 months to do. And so I love it. But I would say that's my latest. And then I'm doing an event around it in December. I usually keep it to my private clients and people that are in it. But I would say outside of that, like I'm excited to take on and grow being a mom and having a extended family. And I think that's like really my focus. I love my clients now and I'm excited to see where things go. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what about like business plans for you? Because right now it's just you, and I know you have an assistant that works for you, but are you the type of entrepreneur that can hire like another PR person to kind of under your name? Is that something you're thinking about? Or are you just like, nope, it's just me?
Yeah, well, I'm sure you understand this as a mom. I'm thinking long term. I absolutely want to do that. Like I see myself getting a space. Like that's really what I want to do, where I host everything in my space.
That's awesome.
So I feel like it'll give people opportunities to start their own podcasts and record there and like do shoots, like a content creation space, but also like so much more than that. So I think that's like my really big goals.
Yeah, that's so smart. I love that. I love that because something else that you guys will know is that Jackie helped me with my latest branding shoot as well. So that was an experience on its own. But yes, that would be so awesome for you if you had that own space to really, and just people like, in your class, if you're going to continue with that, to kind of gain the confidence, you could really build off of that as well. So that's awesome. I'm so excited for you. All right. Well, where can everybody find you? Where do you want them to go? What social medias do you hang out on? This will all be linked to wherever you are listening, whether it's on YouTube or podcasts. All of Jackie's information will be linked somewhere, but tell us, please.
Thank you, Monica. So my favorite hangout is same as Monica. Instagram is my favorite of all time. So you can follow me at NEXTonSCENE or Jackie Zook, ZUK. But I'm on all social platforms with both of those handles, and my website is nextonscene.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jackie. I was so excited that you could be here, and I am so excited to share your story and just continue to learn from you. The best of the best, for sure.
Thank you. So much fun.
Bye.
Hey there, pet lovers. I wanted to take a quick minute to talk to you about a brand that Gino and I are absolutely loving. Wild One is all about making life with your dog look as good as it feels. Whether it's a leisurely walk, a weekend adventure, or a playful day at the park, Wild One has you covered. From their beautifully crafted leashes and collars to travel-friendly water bowls, every product is designed to make your outings convenient, stylish, and enjoyable. Your dog is not just a pet. They're a member of the family, and every pet deserves a loving one. That's why Wild One partners with animal rescue organizations across high-needs areas in the United States to provide rescues and foster dogs with support, gear, and care they need to thrive. When you choose Wild One, you're not just buying products. You're becoming a part of a community dedicated to raising the bar in pet care. And life with your furry companion just got a stylish upgrade. Head over to wildone.com and use code MONICA98823 to receive 15% off your purchase. Your purchase of Wild One products allows their company to continue their vital work of product and monetary donations, volunteering, and much, much more. Once again, that was wildone.com and code MONICA98823 to receive 15% off today. Every purchase matters, so together let's make a difference, one stylish pup at a time.